Hello. So you want to be an elections poll worker? An elections official from Allegheny County is here to share the process and the need. And for decades, the Pittsburgh Job Corp has helped thousands of young people get education and job training. We'll talk to them about how the program prepares them for the workforce. Plus, a sneak peek at a vibrant new art exhibit coming to Pittsburgh from the Caribbean shores of Haiti. So pull up a chair and meet us at the corner. Intersection starts right now. Hello, I'm Lisa Smith, the Director of Community Impact at KDKA Plus and the host of Intersections. Well, it seems we are right in the thick of election season and local election officials are already getting prepared. That includes hiring thousands of people to work on Election Day. Joining me now to talk about how Allegheny County prepares for Election Day and plans to fill all of those poll worker jobs is David Voy. He is the Elections Division Manager in Allegheny County. Welcome to Intersections.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so, you know, there's this preparation that obviously has to take place. When do you guys really kind of get started with the preparation?
Normally right after the preceding election, right after the primary, we'll start gearing up for the November.
Wow. So, you know, obviously a big piece of it is getting poll workers. So what is that process like and how many poll workers do you need?
I mean, first of all, the poll workers in Allegheny County are phenomenal. They're the backbone of having a successful election in this county. We have 1,327 polling locations open on Election Day. We would like to staff those locations with at least 5 members. Some of our larger polling locations, for example, in the local universities, we will have extra help. But we are looking to hire about 6,800 folks to work on Election Day this November.
Wow, and you already have some already, right?
But we are at about 2,800 that are already confirmed.
Yeah.
But we're still in the process of going back and calling the folks that worked in the primary. We like to call back our ones that have worked previously first before we start filling vacancies.
Yeah. So what do you look for in a good poll worker?
We're not real picky, but we will take anybody, and we like community-oriented people that are public friendly.
Mm-hmm. And then in addition to that, there are some requirements, right? So what are some of those requirements?
So to be elected, you must be 18 years of age and living in the precinct. Mm-hmm. But you must be at least 18 years of age and a registered voter within the county.
Yeah.
But we do have a student poll worker program where you could be 17 years of age, and as long as you have permission by your guidance counselor and your guardian, you could work part day on Election Day.
Yeah. Are there some people who maybe can't actually serve as a poll worker? Sometimes.
No, as long as you are registered to vote, you can be a poll worker.
Okay, all right. So you know you've got your poll workers, and then also, I mean, those days are pretty long. Talk a little bit about like what a typical day looks like.
So typically, we request our poll workers be at their polling locations by 6 a.m. That is to get the polling locations set up, the voting machines ready to go, any signs that need posted and being sworn in. The polls, open at 7 a.m. Then the polls close at 8 p.m. You'll need allowed time to close down the machines, take down the voting machines, take down any signs that are posted on the wall, and deliver those results to our regional reporting center. That's they may not leave their polling location until 9 p.m. So it is an extremely long day. I mean, you are afforded breaks for lunch and dinner.
Yeah, and the other thing is it's a paid job. I mean,
it is.
It's not like they're just doing this. I mean, they are doing it for their community, but they also do get paid, right?
It is definitely a community service. The judge of elections, who is the leader at the polling locations, gets $175 per day, and any other inspectors or clerks get $150. Now, we do offer training. All poll workers must attain a training class. They could either go to an in-person class, or we can take it online, and we pay you $20 to take the class.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, obviously with this election coming up, voters are thinking about, okay, so maybe I might want to vote by mail. So talk a little bit about that process, and are there any changes for this upcoming election that people should know about?
We made slight changes to our envelopes, but it's basically the same. But if you are planning to vote by mail for this election, please apply early. Don't wait until the last minute. That way we can ensure that your ballot gets out and our first one's going out and you'll have plenty of time to return it. The last day to apply is October 29th, but please apply early. I believe we've already processed approximately 135,000 applications for this election.
Yeah. And so when you do the application, how do you do that? Do you like go online, or how does that?
There are multiple ways. You can go online. You can go to PA Voter Services or votespa.com, or you can come into our office and fill out a paper form.
Yeah. Are there any restrictions to who can vote by mail?
You must be registered elector in the county.
Okay. All right. And then the other thing, you mentioned the envelopes. And so those envelopes were an issue, I guess, in some past elections where people were not maybe dating them properly. And you made a change to the envelopes. Tell us a little bit about that change that people will see this time around.
So the courts have required that if you do not sign and properly date the declaration envelope, that's the envelope you sign and return your ballot. For example, if you would use your date of birth, or if you would just wrong date, we're not permitted to count it. So what we'll do is we'll return it to the voters, they can cure it. But if you don't put we've recently, the date box on the envelope had the 2-digit year filled in, like 20, and you had to fill in the 24. We filled in the 24 for the voters for this election to make it easier, to make it so more ballots will count.
Yeah. Do you think that will help people to understand, okay, this is the date that you are mailing your ballot?
It specifically says the date of signing.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned curing ballots, and I know that also has been something that has been talked about in some previous elections. What is that process like? If somebody feels like, oh, maybe I made a mistake on my mail-in ballot and I want to cure my ballot.
So if you do not sign your outer envelope, or you do not date it, or you do not date it correctly, we will return your ballot to you in the mail, unopened, of course. We don't open any ballots until Election Day, with a letter explaining, the proper steps of how to cure it, and new envelopes if necessary.
Yeah. Also, I keep going back to previous. Was there anything that we learned maybe in 2020 election or even 2022 election that has that is useful for this upcoming 2024 election?
I think there's a lot of things to learn, but I think basically we've gotten better at the process. I mean, we've gotten better at our pre-canvass process on election morning, opening and counting the ballots quicker. I mean, it's been a learning experience for us internally, and we've gotten a lot better at this process.
Yeah. What about people who still have concerns about, are our elections secure? The voting systems, are they secure? Should there be any concerns for those people?
There aren't any concerns. We test every piece of equipment before it goes out. We test every scanner. We've got this process down. Allegheny County runs a very safe and secure election.
Okay. So we want to also make sure that people do know some of those deadlines. And I came up with a little graphic. The registration deadline is the 21st. Is that correct?
That is correct. Voter registration closes 15 days before an election, and it comes October 21st.
Okay, and then applying you just mentioned about applying by mail, that is October 29th.
That is October 29th, but please don't wait until the last minute. If you apply on the 29th and it takes us a day or two to get that ballot out in the mail to you, and then for you to vote it and get it back into our office by 8 p.m. on Election Day, has to be in our hands. That sometimes that period is too tight, especially if the ballot is going out of state.
Yeah.
Please apply early.
And of course, Election Day is November 5th.
That is correct. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us. I know you have a long day ahead of you on the 5th, and probably some long days leading up to that. But thanks so much for joining us.
And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, coming up, a program in Pittsburgh has been preparing young people for the workforce for decades. We'll tell you how. Intersections. We'll be right back. For 46 years, that's how long the Pittsburgh Job Corp has been working with young people to help them finish high school and prepare for the workforce. The Job Corp nationally has been around for 60 years, and soon there will be a celebration of those 60 years and an upcoming ceremony for the 2024 graduates. Joining us now to share more about those events and more are Ariel. She is the Director of Enrollment and Retention, along with student Rosa Suarez-Jan. Welcome, ladies, to
Thank you so
Intersections.
much for having us.
Yeah, thanks for coming. So, Ariel, tell us a little bit about the Pittsburgh Job Corp. It's been around for 47 years here in Pittsburgh. What does it do? How does it help young people finish school and then move on to their next step?
Yeah, so Job Corp is, a national program. We look at ages 16 to 24. And our goal is to help them take that next step towards their career. So here in Pittsburgh, we offer 11 different trades in construction, security, culinary, and the medical fields. And then we also work with students that are going off to college. We partner with 3 of our local community colleges to provide, sponsorships to those students so they can, get the education that they're looking for and be completely debt-free when they graduate.
Wow. Yeah. So how do young people get enrolled?
So our enrollment is based off of, again, they have to be between the ages of 16 and 24. They also have to meet low income guidelines, so that could be anybody that is on food stamps or anyone that receives SNAP benefits, any student that is currently homeless or maybe experiencing some sort of other crisis. We can work with them as well. And we just look as, each applicant coming in to see, do they qualify for our program and what services do they need from us? Mm-hmm. We can provide students that weren't able to graduate high school, we can put them into GED programs or into our own high school diploma program. And our goal is to just fill in all of those gaps that they may be missing, so that way they can not just get a job, but they can get a career.
Yeah. So do they have to come physically to where you're located or apply online?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are located up in Highland Park, and we have a beautiful 100-acre campus up there. But students can apply online, or they can come visit us for a tour. They can go to enroll.jobcorp.gov and fill out an interest request, and then a member of my team will reach out to them and can go ahead and schedule that tour or an application session. And we just actually started a brand new application portal just in the past couple of weeks, so students are able to complete the application online. They can upload their documents and work with the admissions counselor remotely if they're not able to commit to that travel to coming to Highland Park.
Yeah. So Rosa, you're a soon-to-be graduate. Tell me a little bit about your experience. What has it been like for you being at the Job Corps, and how did you even find out about it?
Well, if you don't know, I'm student government president, so that's good to know. But I found out about Job Corps through my brother. He went to this Job Corps called Red Rock. It's in Red Rock. And he went there for auto technician. And then that's when he told me about the other trades that they had. And he knows I'm interested in being in the medical field. So he called me up and goes, Rosa, they have medical assistant here, CNA, phlebotomy. And, that's when I called up the people that, they call you so you could go to a Job Corps, a recruiter.
Yeah.
And they told me about here, the Job Corps in Pittsburgh. So that's when I came over here and I got my certificate for medical assistant. And thanks to Job Corps, I will be going to Allegheny Community College, and through them, I will acquire my associate's degree in nursing, debt-free too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what is it that you feel that you've really gotten out of this program that is going to really prepare you for your next steps?
For me, I feel like my medical assistant class really is preparing me for the nursing when I go in there, because we do vitals, we do a lot of hands-on activities. So when I do go into the college program, it won't be as difficult. And then also when I was back at home, I was working and going to school. Like I had 2 jobs. So it was really hard for me to just focus on school. So this program has that for me. It gives me the focus. If I want a job, it's up to me, but it really just focuses on my school and my success overall.
Yeah. So Ariel, there's all of these wraparound services as well as residential. Talk a little bit about that and how this program really fully helps the young people as they're trying to move ahead.
So as Rosa said, a lot of our students come from situations where they may be working while they're trying to go to school and they're not able to be successful in that school environment. So we try to provide them with anything that they may need to be successful. So if that's a student in our trade program, they can live on campus. We have cafeterias, 3 meals a day. There's no swipe cards or anything like that. It's all completely included. We have a recreation team that does programming in the evenings to go out to events, maybe a Pirates game or going to Kennywood. For our college students, a lot of times they need assistance. Our college students have to be Pell Grant eligible, so whatever that Pell Grant doesn't cover in terms of cost, we're going to cover. So that could be their tuition, that could be their books and supplies, which can often rake up quite the bill. We provide them with transportation budgets. They can either get a bus pass or a gas card so they can make sure they can get to class each day. We know with gas prices, it can be difficult for some of them. We also provide them with food assistance so we can make sure that they're eating while they're at class. So it's really just all of those things. But the biggest thing is just having a counselor, someone that can help you. So, on center, they are working with our career transition readiness people, getting ready for that career, how to do a resume, how to do interview skills, how to budget properly. Up on the dormitories, they may be working with people on how to do their laundry or how to properly clean their dorm room, things that they may never have been expected to do before. For our college students as well, we have a designated counselor that's on site at each of the campuses. So when they have questions about what classes should I be taking, or I'm struggling in this math class, what resources can I have? That person is kind of the expert on, all of those resources and can pull all of those things to the students. So again, they can focus on passing that class in their education, and everything else is taken care of for them.
Right. So I know that you guys have that 60th anniversary event that's coming up. You have a graduation event coming up. Congratulations on all of it, and thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, coming up, a fascinating exhibit opens soon in Pittsburgh filled with art from Latin America. Intersections. We'll be right back. Well, there's an exciting new art exhibition set to open soon in Pittsburgh, and it features Haitian art. Haiti, Culture, Religion, and Revolution opens in September at the Latin American Cultural Center. Joining us with details are Bill DeWalt. He is a senior advisor at the Latin American Cultural Center. Sandra Budd is assistant director and curator at the center. And Manuel Roman Lacayo is the deputy director at Latin American Studies Association. Welcome all of you to Intersections.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Bill, tell us a little bit about the Latin American Cultural Center. I know it's been open about 2 years now. What is the purpose of the center?
Sure. The purpose of the Latin American Cultural Center is really to give people in Pittsburgh and around the world a good sense of the origins of the nearly 20% of the U.S. population that comes from Latin America. Because we are part of the Latin American Studies Association, what we wanted to do was to take the work of many of the scholars who are associated with that association and to be able to present the results of their work to the public. And so it's really something that I think is very unique in the United States. We've kind of looked around. There are Hispanic centers, there are Latino centers, but there's not a center that really talks about Latin America as such.
Yeah, and Manuel, the Latin American Studies Association is actually based at Pitt, but it's been around for a long time. Talk a little bit about how that is connected to the Cultural Center.
Very well, yes. The Latin American Studies Association has been around for nearly 60 years. Actually, we'll have our 60th anniversary in 2 years. So in 1966, it was founded. It was at a couple of other universities for some years, and in 1986, Pitt decided to host the association on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Latin American Studies Association grew from about 75 scholars starting in the Library of Congress in 1966 to what is currently about 13,000 specialists on Latin America. And the Latin American Cultural Center is the outreach unit or the part of the Latin American Studies Association that is set to improve understanding, the interest in Latin American studies, and all the facets of Latin American life.
Yeah. So let's get into this art exhibit. So Sandra, you're responsible for picking these pieces. Tell me a little bit about these pieces, what they display, what they show, where they came from.
Yes, so the Haiti exhibit on the history, religion, and revolution is opening September 17th, and we are showcasing about 60 contemporary artists, particularly paintings. They're very narrative paintings, so we kind of walk through the history of Haiti and then religious beliefs coming from having different influences. and then we go through the sort of daily life. A lot of the artwork is very narrative, so you can really get a sense of like the farm communities through Haiti, the cockfighting, you know, just some of the sort of unique daily life activities that are important to the Haitian people. Yeah. And then we have many like large metal sculptures that are really well known in Haiti, because this is an art form that's developed out of taking oil drums and then hammering them into large sculptures. And then many other types of art forms that I would say are also really unique, which are the art resistance sculptures, which are beaded flags, beaded objects, beaded dolls.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be something that a lot of people in Pittsburgh haven't seen.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing is, you know, you're having this exhibit. It's going to be September 17th of this year through June of 25. But Bill, also to kick this off, there's a gala. Just quickly tell us a little bit about the gala. It's a fundraiser, and what people will be able to see at this gala.
Sure. At the gala, what we're interested in is bringing our friends and people who are supporters, and also the people who've helped us to develop the exhibition, to come in and to really enjoy an evening and a preview of the exhibit, a time to look at the exhibit, you know, in a kind of a leisurely fashion, while also enjoying Haitian food, Haitian music, some of the poetry of Haiti that we hope to feature as well. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a really fun evening.
It definitely sounds like it. That's going to be on Saturday, September 14th. Thank you all so much for joining us and talking about this exhibition, and hopefully everybody will get out and see it.
Great.
All right.
Lisa.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. And I'll have my last word when we come back. Vibrant, something that is so eye-catching that it stops you in your tracks. It's captivating, it's colorful, it's energetic. Artwork often includes vibrancy. What's interesting is that vibrancy can occur within depictions of colorful celebrations and tragic occurrences. It causes you to stop, think, and learn. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Intersections.